Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today's weekend occasion is Father's Day, which I know is a little while off, but again it's always nice to plan ahead and think of what little gifts and projects you want to make. And I've just made this one. As you can see, it's a cute little box. It has a lovely little belly band on it, and inside is just a little chocolate bar that you can give to your dad, stepdad or special person that you're wanting to give something to for Father's Day, or even a birthday or a thank you, anything really. You can use it for any excuse and any reason. I just can't get my belly band back on, there we go. And it's fairly simple and quick to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So obviously I've gone with the True Gentleman DSP truly tailored stamp and tailored tag punch there. This time I'm going to go with the same suite, but I'm using, oh okay, why am I not in focus? Let's try again. Okay, that's strange, don't know why that happened. Anyway, let's carry on. So I'm using Night of Navy this time, and I'm using this lovely glasses one that I just think that's really cute. So to make this box you need a sheet of cardstock or DSP, whichever you want to use, and this measures excuse me 11 inches by 6 3/4, which in centimetres is 25 centimetres by 15.5 centimetres. You then need to score, and I've not written this down properly, so it's on back to front pieces of paper, so I have to keep flipping it over. So on the 11 inch side, which will be the 25 centimetre side, you need to score at 2.5 inches, 3 1/4, 7 3/4 and 8.5, and in centimetres that is 5, 6.5, 18.5 and 20. You then need to rotate and score at 3/4 inch, 1.5 inches, 5 1/4 inches and 6. And in centimetres that is 1.5, 3, 12.5 and 14. And then, as we do, we're going to fold and burnish our score lines. And don't forget, all the products that I use are available in the current or spring, summer or annual catalogue. I never used retired products because then there's no point, because you can't buy them and it just frustrates people. And don't forget, while Celebration's on, that with a certain qualifying order you can get free stuff, which everybody loves. So now I've scored and burnished our folded and scored our score lines. Oh, it's been one of those days, hasn't it? We need to cut. So we need to take away, we need to cut down the side there and the side there, and take away the 2 corner pieces here. And then we just need to cut the top off that and cut some wedges. So cut down, across and away, cut that bit away, and then across the top and down the 2 wedges. Oh, come on, come on, come on, there we go. And then we do exactly the same on the other side. All these measurements will be on my blog, so don't worry if you didn't catch them. The link for my blog is always below, as is the link for the shop, which will take you to the products I've used. And the other good thing about Celebration is that it gives you the perfect opportunity to join Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator and do what I do. Now, by that I don't mean doing tutorials or videos. You don't have to do that. You could just do parties, you could just become a demonstrator and get the benefits that is a discount on products. You get to buy products before everybody else. You get to meet up with like-minded lovely people twice a year or more if your team does events, and basically there's just no reason why you shouldn't join, because it is fantastic. And during Celebration, not only do you get your starter kit, but you get to choose 2 extra stamp sets free as well, so you get even more. I worked it out and it's nearly double. You actually get double what you're paying for. Again, unbelievable. So if you're interested in any of that, by the way, the information is all on my blog. You just need to pop along and have a look. So I've now got my layers here that I want to pop on, my DSP layers. So let me spin my paper back and forth again. So you need 2 layers that are 4.25 inches by 1/2 inch, which are these ones. You then need 2 layers that are 3.5 by 1/2, and then you need 2 that are 3.5 by 2.25. And in centimetres, that is 2 4.5 by 9, 2, no, ignore me, that was wrong, 2 4.5 by 9, 2 1 by 9, and 2 11.5 by 1. No. No, these are the 4.5s, those are the 11.5s by 1, and those are the 9 by 1. It is all on my blog, don't worry, and once you've cut them out you will then see how they actually go onto the box. I'm just talking drivel. It's been a long day and I'm very tired today. Not that that's any excuse, but I do try and film several of my videos in one go, which sometimes can lead to it being very chaotic if I'm a bit tired as well and I'm not quite paying attention. And sometimes as well I make my projects you know, maybe a week in advance, so when it actually comes to remaking them, even though I've written the instructions down, I don't write sort of step-by-step instructions down, and then I forget how I did it. Which is just about typical of me. So sticking these on, using my snail, as you can see. Last one. Oops. Stick that one on there. Okay, and then we just come back with our fuse, which just goes on the tabs if it wants to. And obviously then we just pop our tabs in place. Just sticking those in the corners. And that's our box made up. We're then going to pop our chocolate bar in, and then we're just going to put what I call the shoulders over, and then there's our top to close. Now you'll notice that I've got this extra bit here. That's just because I didn't trim it properly when I was doing my cutting, and it's just where I scored. So I'm just going to give that a little trim just so that it sits nicely and in line. That's better. And see, now this side has it as well, but it's only got a small amount, so just get rid of that. There we go. So there's our box made up. You can have these flaps either way you want them. And then we need our belly band, and I've used a length of vellum. Now this is just a full length of a vellum sheet. I haven't cut anything off, I haven't, you know, it's just the basic A4 length. I have to be honest with you, I'm so rubbish at doing belly bands because I can never get the measurements right. So my simple way of doing it is just, I put it on and then I tip my project upside down. I make sure that my vellum is relatively central, and then I just fold it over, again making sure that my ends are going to meet together, and once I'm happy that they are, I then just give these folds a bit of a crease, And then to make them more pronounced, I suppose is the word, I then just simply stick them into my trimmer and score. For goodness sake, don't use your cutting blade when you do this by mistake. Easily done. And that just reinforces those lines, and then I just line them up, and I actually just use my fingernails to burnish those because I don't need to get my bone folder out. I just want them clean folds. And as you can see, I'm just making sure that they are straight. That piece really just wants to sit up there, doesn't it? And then just last one. And then again, the next thing I do is just put some fuse. Again, I'm using fuse because I find that snail is blue, and if you're using vellum it can show through. And obviously that now fits perfectly, and you just need to now make sure that you're lined up and just give it a little press, and there's your belly band in place. And then if you just want to decorate it as I have done, I've got some very vanilla cardstock here and my Night of Navy. Again, I'm going back into the Truly Tailored, and I have to use Looking Sharp because of the glasses. And so I'm just going to ink this up and stamp him on to there. Close this up, and then with my tailored tag punch I want 2 blue, and this is actually some of the leftover from my card that I cut, and it's just literally just the right width, so no wasting. So I needed 2 of those, and then I need to punch this out. Oops, come on, there we go. Get rid of that, and then just last but not least is some linen thread, which I shall put on in just a moment when I've got the end sorted out. There we go. So to make this bit up, I simply put some adhesive on, turn him round, adhesive on the fronts of these, and I just did the, trying to decide which side looks better, I think that one, opposite corners of this, and then I just simply decided where I wanted this to sit. Again, just eyeballing the depths of the sides, etc. And then I did exactly the same, putting this one on, and just eyeballed to make sure I had the same width on there. And again, just checking the top and bottom, and I'm quite happy with that. This just has some dimensionals on the back, and I'm just using 4 on this one. And then, as I do with all of my projects that have anything like this on, I use glue dots. And again, I've just gone with 4 glue dots just to stick my linen thread to. Grab my scissors, and then I'm just literally, I might as well take the length of this off here because there's not a great deal left. And then I literally just stick, if you saw my card video on Tuesday, you'll see that this is the exact same principle, and I just tuck them around, wrap it round any which way it pleases really. Because it has a bit of a kink in it from being wrapped around the cardstock, I'm happy to leave that in. It just adds a bit of character, I suppose. And like I said, I just literally just wrap it round, and then when you're happy and you think you've got enough, just trim it off. Trim that tail end off. There we go, I'm happy with that. And then just take your backing off your dimensionals, and that's your Father's Day or birthday or thank you gift done. And just make sure when you do this that you eyeball the edges to find your centre, because this isn't the centre line. I made that mistake before when I did it, and I think the best way I found was lining up my vanilla with the edge of the DSP, and that was about the best way I did it. And then again, if you want to just fiddle about with your baker's twine just to give it an extra look, you can do. But there are my chocolate boxes, ideal for Father's Days or birthdays. Don't forget, all the products can be available, can be purchased and are available in the annual and the spring summer catalogues. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.